Hey everybody, Fletch from All Things Overlanding here. On today's episode, similar to the one I did about a week ago, I wanted to again sort of just dive into the stuff coming up at MOORE Expo, which is happening again here in February 13th and 14th. I'll have links to the expo, tickets, and basically all the pages that I'm going to direct you to down below in the description. So if you're new to the channel, again, my name is Fletch. This is All Things Overlanding. On this channel, we talk about overlanding stuff, Xterra modifications, general sort of universal do-it-yourself mods, gear reviews, trip reports, kind of anything and everything related to like overlanding, off-road travel, that kind of stuff. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely click that subscribe button. I'd love to have you as a subscriber, and I'd love to chat with you guys in the comments. So without further ado, though, let's dive into looking at this website because this thing is awesome. There's just a ton of stuff going on, and I'm getting more and more excited about it. So that's why I wanted to kind of just make this sort of short mini video series, if you will, because I want to just kind of touch on some stuff, get you guys thinking about it as well, get you guys excited about it, and make it a good trip for you and myself as well. Like, I feel like a lot of the times I just kind of wander into stuff like this, and then I get done with it, and I'm like, man, I feel like I missed a lot because I didn't really pay attention or didn't really pre-plan it. So again, that's kind of my intention with this, is to get us sort of amped up for it and to get us thinking about what we want to hit when we're there so we can have a really, really good time at this event. So as you can see here on the screen, I'm going to be sharing my screen too and kind of flipping back and forth. As you can see here on the screen, the things that I wanted to talk about today were the exhibitors and then also the courses that they're going to be offering at this thing. Now, one thing to keep in mind is they do keep adding new exhibitors and new courses all the time, although I think it looked like last time I looked, they're pretty much about full. Although it looked like the last time that I looked that they're pretty much about full with vendors. So we may be getting close to that end spot. Like there may not be any spots left for new vendors, new exhibitors. So that may be pretty close to final. But then same with classes too. Like I keep seeing new courses that are going to be offered. Like I saw one from our friend Jeremiah at Overland Pioneers. He's going to be doing a drone panel or drone sort of class to teach you like the basics of using a drone when you're recording your trips and overlanding, which I'm really excited about. So let's start with the exhibitors though. Let's dive into that first. So as you'll see here, as we start to scroll through these, there are a ton of exhibitors. And I kind of like the way they've got this broken out because they've got it as like a legacy exhibitor. So I think that's cool that like they give props to the people that, have worked with the MOORE Expo before. And then they've got, all those guys, and then they've got the new exhibitors. So it's kind of nice because they feature both of them, right? So if you're a new exhibitor, there's incentive there to become an exhibitor. And if you've been there before, then there's incentive for you to say, hey, I've been there before. I'm an existing one, right? So just kind of going through here, Artemis, of course, I think is the premier sponsor of the event. I've met Aaron and Carrie, his wife. They're a lovely family with some awesome stuff. And I haven't been to their shop yet, but I'm hoping to hit it up while I'm there for more because it's just awesome. And I've heard that they've expanded it pretty significantly, and it's freaking cool. So, but again, great people, super nice, super knowledgeable, tons and tons of gear. So definitely check out the Artemis people. I don't have time to go through every single one of these, so I won't. I'm hitting on the ones that I know. Like I think I see CB Adventure Supply here. Ryan Hitchcock. He was on a video of mine quite a while ago. We did kind of like a how is COVID impacting overlanding businesses. I'll put a tag up here if you're interested in seeing that. But it was a really cool sort of panel. And Chris was on that too from MOORE Expo. But so I remember them from that. So just kind of cool stuff, right? It's cool because it's like a big family kind of, which is really exciting. Because once you get to meet people, of course, then you kind of feel connected to them. And it's cool to see them at things like this. Like Overland Addict. There's our buddy Chad Boyd. What's up, Chad? He will be there as well. I know he was there last year. Super excited to meet him in person and kind of see the Mercedes I'm sure he'll bring out. And kind of some of the gear that he's got and stuff. But I mean, just tons and tons of awesome exhibitors, right? Like there's just a ton of off-road RV. I mean, look at all these guys. Go Treads, New Holland Overland. They were at Core, so that's cool to see. Re-Rover, I know, is kind of leading I think the S'more to More trip, the journey from S'more to More for the expo. TC Teardrops, the Mowers, good to see you guys on there too. Open Range Overland, I've been seeing these guys quite a bit. I think I randomly just saw some of their trailers maybe and started following them on Instagram, but they make some really cool stuff. Our friends Northology and Core, of course, are on here, so that's cool to see. Venture Motors, Global Expedition Vehicles, And then, of course, there are some new exhibitors too. And the first thing that I kind of go to is like, there are some big, legit exhibitors that are going to be at this thing. Like Ram Trucks is going to be there. Redarc, you know, I remember Jeremiah made a video about the Redarc products that he put on his trailer. Awesome, super high quality stuff. I mean, I think anybody that's been in overlanding for any period of time has heard of Redarc. Of course, we all have heard of Ram Trucks, right? Like we know that. I did ask Chris about that, the Ram Trucks people, and he was super excited about them coming, and Redarc. But he said that Ram Trucks is actually going to have like a ride and drive thing that's going to be set up out front, where you can like take a Ram across like an off-road course that'll be set up in the parking lot. So that'll be pretty cool. So I mean, again, there's just so many that there's going to be so much stuff to see. Long Creek Overland, Oscar Mike Overland, Opus, like the big name trailer company, they'll be there. Helix, Overland Rentals, Arkansas Off-Road, our buddy Grant, he will be there too. I imagine, and I think I saw Backwoods. Isn't Backwoods on here? Where are they at? They may not be up on the website yet, but I'm pretty sure that I saw Backwoods, and maybe that is what the Arkansas Off-Road thing is. So they make these, they have always kind of specialized in like custom Sprinter vans and stuff, but now they're starting to move over into the like overlanding truck arena, and they're building some really cool stuff with Grant's help, kind of helping to design it and market it and that kind of stuff, making some videos and stuff. So it's cool, man. Like all his videos have always been great, but you know, he's making some cool videos for them now, and it's cool stuff. Tread lightly. So yeah, I mean, there's tons of them. And then down here, you know, I'll hover over this for a little bit so you can kind of look at it. So this is the map, right? That kind of shows you. So you've got title sponsor here, Artemis. Big area here at the back. Redarc's right there in the middle. Some food is always good. And then just a smattering of everybody, right? All over there is Re-Rover. So, I mean, there's going to just be so much stuff to look at. I'm not even kidding. It's going to be amazing. So it's going to be interesting to see, like, how all this stuff is laid out when we get there. You know, again, from looking at the pictures from last year and everything, it just looks like it's super cool, right? Like, it's like an overlander's dream to be able to go to this. Because, again, like, for myself even, I live in Indiana, right? So, like, the closest thing I have is a Dix or an REI, and that's really not overlanding gear, right? It's camping gear, hunting gear, that kind of stuff. But definitely not stuff specifically for, you know, folks like us that are like, oh, I really need this very odd, weird, you know, heated shower thing, right? Like I need a propane-powered shower heater. They don't really sell those at like Walmart, right? Like you can't just go to the local grocery store and pick these things up. So it'll be really neat to be able to check out stuff that all these exhibitors have on display. So I'm super excited about that. I do plan, just so you guys know, like when I'm there, right, I'm gonna do my best. It's gonna be distracting, but I'm gonna try and do my best to shoot a bunch of video, put a bunch of stuff together, maybe do some interviews and stuff if I can get time with people. So it's going to be cool. I'm planning to bring you guys a ton of content from MOORE Expo because I am super excited about it. But then that way, if for some reason you can't make it, then you'll know what to expect the following year, right? So I'm sure the following year we'll be talking about it again. So yeah, so those were kind of the exhibitors. And again, I'm going to put a link to this in the description below. I just wanted to kind of run through them, point out some of the ones that I'd seen, some of the ones that kind of stuck out to me. But definitely go check this out. Like go to their site, look through these things. Each of these are linked too, which is really nice. So you can go and check these guys out in more detail. So, oh, there's Backwoods. Found him. But so, you know, go check these guys out. So the show is one thing, and it's awesome to get to go and see all these things in person. But you can do some pre-research, right? Like because there's so many, sometimes that can be a disadvantage, right? Because you got to know where you want to hit, right? Like, are you looking for a Dometic fridge freezer? Are you looking for a rooftop tent? Like, and then you can kind of narrow it down to kind of pick your top picks for where you want to hit while you're at the show. Now you will have 2 days, so believe me, I'm sure you'll have a lot of time to check everything out in depth. But again, just so you don't miss anything, right? Like make a list, make a little notes in your little Apple or Samsung phone or whatever, and have a list of things that you want to hit up and things you want to check out, right? So that is the sort of the quick little overview of. Oh, there's Artemis. Hi, buddy. Of the exhibitioners, the exhibitors. Pay no attention to me. It's late. The exhibitors. So the next part that I wanted to hit on was the courses. Now, again, I just think these are super cool. So, and I especially like that they talk about things like, getting out and exploring the wild, not being afraid to do that, to get out and explore the wild, but also to be safe, how to be prepared, how to be, ready when you go out and do those things. Because I think, especially in overlanding, because it's kind of a newer thing, or it's becoming a kitschy sort of thing, I think a lot of people oftentimes will just kind of go out and buy a bunch of gear, and then they'll just like hit the woods, which is, not all a bad thing, right? Like I want people to like get interested in it and get involved, but also at the same time while maintaining safety, right? Like I would never encourage someone just go grab all your stuff and just go out for 6 days and camp in the woods and, good luck. It's winter. Like, you got to be safe. You've got to be prepared. Knowledge is one of those things that you just can't replace, right? Like you can have all the best gear in the world, but if you don't know how to use it, if you've never used your winch and you get stuck, good luck. Now you're trying to figure out how to use it. You know what I mean? So definitely check out some of these classes. Again, these are the things that you kind of have to plan around, because I think there are definitely like set times of day when these things happen, and they only happen so many times throughout the event. So like if you have one that you really like, that drone one that I mentioned, I really want to hit that one, I got to put that in my calendar, and I got to figure out when I want to go to that one so that I don't miss it. Another one that I want to hit up is Matt McClellan's Ozark Overland Adventures guy. He's doing Gaia 101, which I need, because now I have my 10.1 inch touchscreen Android head unit, and it has Gaia on it, and I still barely know how to use it. So I will be checking him out as well. Wilderness and critical event preparation. That's okay, Aaron Paris. So this is the guy I was talking about from Switchback Outdoor Safety. Event preparation. So this is huge, right? Like I will tell you a story that happened to me the last time I went camping, which was about a month ago now. It turned out not to be a huge deal. Actually, you may still be able to see it here. Let me hold my finger up, if it will focus. You see that kind of like that piece of skin there, right? Here, let me get closer so that it will focus maybe. Someone coming into the video now is going to be like, what the heck? So, but you see that big piece of skin there, right? You can see that was cut, and now it's healing back. The last time I went camping, it was late at night. I was getting ready for bed, and I was doing something with my knife. I was opening something or something, and it just slipped a tiny bit and went... And maybe I can find the pictures and I'll put them up here on the screen. But like I had it wrapped in stuff, and it was bleeding so much that even though I had like my hand around it and like a paper towel or like a wet wipe around it, it was dripping everywhere. It looked like a murder scene in the back of my Xterra. And I was kind of like, oh man, like it doesn't hurt or anything, right? Like I'm not like afraid. But then I was like, I am bleeding a lot, and if I can't stop this, like that's kind of reason for concern, right? And you don't think it'll ever happen. Like, for me, it was a one-night camping trip. I did not have any inkling that, I would have even a thought in my head that I may have to leave because of something that happened. But, I like knives, and I like sharp knives, and I had this really sharp knife, and I did one stupid thing, and the next thing I knew, I had a cut that was probably about, like, the full width of my thumb and probably about 1/4 of an inch deep, and it was just pouring blood. And I did manage to like get it all wiped off, get it sort of sanitized, and get it band-aided up and wrapped up, and I got it to stop for the night. But and then the next morning I woke up and everything was fine, right? And I woke up, so that's good. But like you just don't. Again, even the best plans doesn't mean that nothing can happen, right? So I think something like this is super important. Based on my story alone, I think you should definitely check out the Wilderness and Critical Event Preparation class. Aaron's also doing first aid and trauma kits, which is same idea, right? Like, yeah, so seriously injured, wilderness and critical event, also first aid and trauma kits. Again, I should probably go to this class because I'm an idiot and I will probably kill myself on accident someday. Introduction to urban survival, evasion, resistance, and escape. Okay, that sounds cool. Like, I live in sort of the outskirts of the city of Indianapolis, so like I'm not really in a city per se, but it's still cool. Like this is still definitely something that interests me. So all this stuff is so cool. Safety and security while traveling. Again, it's Aaron Paris here. That's kind of interesting too. I pretty much have been a U.S. traveler, but I would love to go up to Alaska, up to Canada. Like I would love to go to some of these surrounding places, but I don't really know a lot about like how I would traverse the border or how that would work or anything like that. So I think that would probably be a good class to take as well. Radio communications, that sounds really cool. Like I use GMRS, and they're not too hard or too tricky to use, but there's stuff to learn all the time, right? My CB doesn't really work all that well. I feel like I need to tune it or I need a longer antenna, but I'm no expert, so maybe you could learn something about that. Topo map reading, super, super handy skill to have, right? And probably something nowadays that most of us don't possess because we use GPS for everything. But so that would be a good thing to learn, right? Really good one. Basic recovery techniques and safety. I love that. I've done a fair number of recoveries, but like I've never had to use like my winch or do anything super, super technical with most of my gear. I've been upping my gear. I've done a ton with toe straps and recoveries that way, bungee straps, things like that. But like I've never really had to use my winch or like double up the winch or do like I honestly really don't know a ton about how to do that stuff. And the best way to learn would be to take a class like this or to have to do it. So that would be a cool one too. MVUM mapping and trail preservation. That's cool. That's Matt McClellan again. Ozark Overland Adventures. Like I pull down the MVUM maps when I go on trips, but I'm not any sort of like expert, right? So like I'll pull them down, I'll look at them, and that's all well and good, but like I'm no expert. So there's no such thing as knowing too much. Like the absolute worst thing that could happen is you could go to one of these classes and be like, oh, I knew that stuff. Right? But you almost always can learn more. So definitely check that out. And then here's Jeremiah's Drones 101 class. I want to be taking that one too. And then as it says down here at the bottom, like keep an eye out because they're going to be continuing to add classes all the way. I mean, it's middle of December now. So we've still got another couple of months until the event. So there could be new ones that are coming up. So keep your eye on this page as well. So again, that has kind of touched on the exhibitor list. It's also kind of touched on the courses. Post up in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think. Like, what events do you want to see, or what kind of courses do you want to take? What exhibitors are you super excited about? Like, I'd love to hear from you guys down in the comments below. Just let me know what you want to hit up, because again, some of those may give me ideas too, or help me prioritize my stuff. So definitely post up down below. Let me know what you want to hit, and I'm going to do another couple of these probably over maybe in January or something. So again, I'm trying to not beat you guys to death with them, but I would like to at least look at this site a couple times a month. There may be some updates or something that we could cover by then too. But so look for one of those again, probably early January. So thanks for watching. Again, if you're new to the channel, make sure to click that subscribe button. Go down in the description below, check out all the links to go check out more. And then also there are links to Facebook, Instagram, my podcast, all that sort of stuff. So if you like the content, come hang out in other places. But again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.